the two data series that I'm using would be the first one is U.S. monthly new car retail sales, and I have the period that I have data for, and the second one is gasoline sales for the same time period. Now, in order to keep my file small, I've already prepared the first histogram, and you should already you should already know how to do that. But the important thing is that we need to find the minimum and the maximum for each variable, and I've done that here in this little table. And then what we do to make the histograms comparable is we take the minimum of the two minimums, which will be 12, and we take the maximum of the two maximums, which is 69, and from those two we find the range. And with a range of 57, I know that I can start with an even number, like I can say maybe 15 here, which is a little bit above 12, and I have to go to perhaps 65 using increments of 5, so I've done that here. And then using that, I prepared my frequency table and my chart, which is already formatted with title and everything. And now what I'm going to do is do the same thing for the second variable, but I'm going to take this bin series here, copy it, and take it down just across about right there and paste it. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to Data, Data Analysis, Histogram, OK. And then for the input range, I have to come back here and obtain the data, including the title. Enter. And then the second bin numbers here, and click Labels, Chart Output, and then for the output I want it deposited there. And I have my second chart, and I eliminate the frequency. I will make this 3 inches by 4 inches to save space, for keep my file from becoming too large, because if it becomes large I cannot post it on YouTube. So here I have this. I click on the bars, I go Format, Format Selection, No Gap, Fill, Solid, and so I have to come down and make that a light color, border color, solid, close, and I go to Layout, Data Labels, End, and then I make this 12, font 12. Here, this is bold, 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 and this is 12. For the title, I can simply come up here like this and take this one, and I can come down here, paste it, and then instead of new car I can put gasoline, click outside, and now to make this smaller, 14, that works. Slip it back a little bit so it's not so far off. And now all I have to do for these is I come up, since these are identical bin numbers, I can take this, bring it down, paste it, and I have two graphs that are absolutely the same vertically, and they're both 70 and 70 here. If not, I would have to make them so. I should come in and eliminate the odd numbers perhaps to make it easier to read. And here's the major unit. That's 10. I could make this 20. Looks a little easier perhaps. And coming down here, do the same thing. Format, Selection, Major Unit, 20. Okay. And so these should be directly comparable and are ready to be pasted into Word. Now notice here on the left we have a couple of bars with 0, and here on the right we have a couple of bars with 0. That's simply the way it is. That's what happens when you're comparing two different sets of numbers. This can then be pasted into Word.